I'm William Flavin. I'm the Director of Doctrine, Concepts, Education, and Training at the Peacekeeping and Stability Operations Institute located at the U.S. Army War College. PKSOI has been around for a while. It's one of the older institutions, think tanks or whatever it is in this area that have been around for a while. The first time the term stability was used in the U.S. Army was by General Johnson in 1966. He decided, taking a look at Vietnam, that he needed to put together an overarching doctrine that linked all of the elements of the Army together to approach some of the problems he had seen in Vietnam. Before that, counterinsurgency seemed to be in the backyard of the Special Forces. And he was afraid that if he didn't broaden this to a larger term called stability, that they would lose the bubble. The UN talks about stability as a larger construct beyond peacekeeping, as a way to get to nation building. The British talk about military support to stabilization. So stability, stabilization has become a word for a larger construct on how you take a look and address drivers of conflict, address long-term institutional grievances, how you build legitimacy and work on the legitimacy of the countries, how you build capacity in order to ensure the various nations out there can address some of the problems that they're dealing with, bringing rule of law, where the past doctrine had established military operations other than war, and then war. Oh, they didn't call it war. They called it and military operations other than war. You had those two worlds out there, and military operations other than war was always considered the lesser included case, was always considered the poor stepchild, that if you merely did war, you could easily do this other lesser thing. Every generation finds out again that, by goodness, there's some skill sets involved in doing this other sort of thing, that is just not a lesser included case. You have to study hard for both. You have to be able to attend to both. You have to be able to adapt force structures. You have to be able to address both issues. I've also been an instructor here at the U.S. Army War College starting in 1991. That the students here have changed as well. They have gone from 1991 to thinking about military dealing lethal power to today, where the students talk about a wide range of lethal and non-lethal approaches, the integration of interagencies, the integration of non-governmental organizations, and are comfortable in dealing and discussing this much wider application of force and influence at a national, multinational, and international area and approach. And so the Peacekeeping Institute has not only kept up, but at times led in some of these discussions and some of these ways. We've moved quite a bit ahead, still keeping the image and the vision of General Sullivan to take a look at the strategic and operational level, to try to look ahead, as difficult as that may be, with the immediate needs of Afghanistan and Iraq facing us, to try to look out, to try to anticipate what may be the problems ahead. What should the military and the U.S. government, and the military as part of the whole of government, nested within the policy direction of the United States government, where that should be going. The idea that the Peacekeeping Institute can look out, can determine a gap, can gather people together and convince them that this gap is needed, and then go out and act upon it, is one of the things that the Peacekeeping Institute can do. The other thing it can do is, because it operates and has operated in the past as a neutral ground where non-governmental organizations, international organizations, academic organizations, interested men on the street, and women on the street, as a matter of fact, could come and discuss. It has got a reputation of being a neutral player.